What is going on, All-Terrain Nation? Whether it be two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive, or these Broncos we love to drive, this is your All-Terrain Nation, and I'm your host, David Boyd. And tonight...
And Kelly Boyd.
I was about to get to that, but okay.
You like to jump in and forget about me.
Yeah, so forget about you. But tonight, it's Bronco Talk, and that is right. And we just got from a big adventure with our Bronco, Kelly.
We did.
I overslept this morning. So I had that going for me. We got in about 6, I guess, last night, something like that.
Yeah.
Instantly had to go into parent mode of getting the kid to take showers. You're chasing around the house to get her to do that. She's doing whatever she wants. And the other kid's like, I'm wondering what he's up to. But
and didn't get his chores done that he was supposed to do while we were gone.
Mow the yard. So anyways, yeah, and then I woke up like 45 minutes late. So that's been my Monday. And so welcome to the Boyd's Household in Bronco Talk Live. And you know the drill. You know what's about to happen. I still haven't done it yet, but there's theme music coming for what Kelly's about to do. So Kelly, without further ado.
Oh, there's theme music coming for that. I was like, excuse me, what am I about to do? Well, you all know what we have to start. Let's, first of all, jump off. It's Anna's birthday week. We'll try to be
birthday,
good.
Sir.
Happy birthday.
I will
Happy
celebrate
birthday.
for you.
And how about for your birthday, a shirt from me came in from you. And
what does this
have? I'm wearing it on your birthday week.
Oh.
Like, how's that work? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you for the shirt. It's amazing. I'm very happy with it. And it says, I love my cup holders. Because those of you that know, I love my cup holders.
Yeah,
like,
I think
cup holders are super important.
She's talked about them enough that
just maybe
that a shirt was made. So, but cheers on us. Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you for all your kindness you do for us, man. And
yes, sir.
I say thank you.
Terrence Mooney in the house. Dr. Detroit. YouTube Car Spotters Guide. I guess All-Terrain Nation's here too.
Oh, we might be.
Mobile Moto's in the house. Kevin Hess. Pez Head. Wait.
Pez Head just became a member, by the way.
Oh, welcome in. Kevin Hess says, just got my official email. Your Bronco's been scheduled for production week of 8/29. Yay. There's so much good news coming these days.
I know. It's well, we've done this for over a year now. So,
yeah.
So eventually, like, we hope some good news pops in here.
Pez Head in the house. Michael Rivas asked if anyone knows if you can remove the back seat in the Bronco. I've seen people do it. Like, they've pulled their seats out. So I would say yes. But we'll get into that. So let's see. Bronco 78 in the house this evening. Let's see. You know, I got to say hi to everybody. Allie in the house. Welcome in, ma'am. We keep being at the same events and missing each other. So one of these days we will actually meet in person. So hello.
Right. We were like in the same area too. She was at the time we were at the Bronco Nation area. Like, you know, we're all busy people.
Yes. Jeffrey Babb in the house this evening. Let's see. Well, we weren't late tonight, to be honest with you. We were not late. We were right on time. I was not late. I had to change my shirt.
Yeah.
And I had to get my drink.
Hold still.
Right. I think it's the same hair I've been trying to get off this mic for like weeks.
Probably.
But anyway.
Alpine Garage.
Jonathan Falds in the house. Alpine Garage in the house. Bird Dog Overland. We got to see this weekend as well.
We did get to hang out with Jody. That was awesome.
Eric Jefferson. Robin O'Malley. Iconic Bronco.
Robin.
What did I say?
No, I think you did. I think I
said Robin O'Malley.
I think I've said Robert earlier today.
Oh, so you messed it up for me.
Yes.
No, I said Robin.
Yeah. What's up, Iconic Bronco?
Iconic Bronco in the house. And YouTube Car Spotters Guide. I think I already said hello, but I want to make sure I say hello.
Yeah.
And Valley Dude 5000, Tim Cornet in the house. Like Tim says, smash that like button.
Yes, so we appreciate
And if you're on mobile, you do have to minimize the chat to be able to like the video. So overlanding for fun in the house. Mark Young in the house.
Driven Wild Outdoors.
Driven Wild Outdoors is in the house.
Who I teased, not teased, but was like his previous name of Bronco
You
Wild Outdoors.
strong-handed him.
But then what's funny was I was doing a video and then I kept saying Bronco Wild Outdoors.
No, you did not.
Oh yeah.
Ugh.
So
Ugh. Can't keep up with anything.
Dwayne's got a surprise he hadn't found yet.
Mobile Moto in the house. That Bronco dude 956.
Mobile.
I saw it. Let's see. Allie says part of her Bronco was actually in your video.
How naughty.
Alpine Garage and Tracy Peterson. Yes, it was fun hanging out with you guys too. Thanks for dealing with all the reservation of tables with this one over here.
So let's just jump right into the Ford garage.
Dana Watts, welcome in.
Ford's garage, because it's not Ford garage, it's Ford's garage. But we'll get right into that one because that was part of the reason we were going up there. We wanted to have the little meetup. And next year we do plan on doing that again, and it's going to be bigger and better. And Ford's garage wants us back, so that's a good place to meet up. But we did this like 2.5 weeks before we kind of threw this together that we were going.
I mean,
up
you
there.
all knew when we did it. We literally did it a couple weeks ago.
But there was I want to say Nikki. Was Nikki in the chat tonight?
I haven't seen Nikki tonight, but I know sometimes she can't watch.
But
she watches replay.
Nikki helped us, like she did a lot of the legwork up there to make sure they could do it, and she had to go back a couple times because the manager wasn't at one place, then at the Lincoln dealership wasn't over there, but they were kind enough to offer us some parking at the Lincoln dealership, which we were a little bit worried because I was like, there's probably this like 20-foot tall fence we gotta turn into Spider-Man to crawl over. Wasn't like that at all. Very easy to get around. Ford's garage is very nice. I mean, just very nice. I was very impressed with that place. I knew from the pictures I seen, but sometimes you go in there and their places are dirty and whatever. And this place wasn't at all, man. They definitely they cater. I mean, the food's a little pricey, so they should cater to cleanliness more than everybody should. But they definitely know their audience, and was nice enough to let us come up here. Then they had 3 of us park up in the grass. Yeah. So we had Jody with Bird Dog Overland, myself, and Dwayne with Driven Wild Outdoors. Got to park up there, and they had some other parking separated for us. Was it a Mustang Club or something? They were talking
Classic Car Club or something.
Yeah, was going to come up there, and they never showed. So he was like, "Hey, y'all have all this parking," and then we had a few on the sides. I want to say we had 10 or so Broncos show up, which didn't hurt my feelings at all, man. I didn't need 100 Broncos to show up. We were just wanting to hang out and meet some of you guys. And I think as we were dubbed the super streamers for the Bronco, I guess, we all had a good time. And so Kelly, what was because I haven't really got to talk to you about this. How was it? And what was your impressions of this place?
Well, before we go there, I just wanted to say they've said that the word of the night is naughty. And drink every time you say naughty. So yeah. So putting that in there. But so the question
Pee-wee's
was what?
Playhouse all of a sudden?
So what was the question?
Well, because we haven't really got to talk about Ford's garage. I know, we talked a little bit about everything that happened on the way home, but that was one thing we really didn't get to, me and you privately, like, hey, what was your opinion of that place? How was it? I will say the areas, they're improving the roads in front of the place. So that was, it made for a nice, easier way to get some pictures.
Yes.
But I think probably next year that road's fixed where you can't be out in traffic trying to get a picture of the place.
Yeah, I don't think so. You're not going to get the same photo next year as you did this year for sure.
So we had zero expectations of the place.
No, we didn't. So I honestly was afraid it was going to be super chaotic. Like only because we planned it so soon or so quickly. Hold on, we got a whiner. Well, you want to be in here and then you want to go.
I know. Silly dogs. Silly dogs.
Say that works out. That works out.
There, you can hear our family.
Sorry.
All right, so what were you at?
Sorry, y'all. Got a parent in between.
In between conversations.
Yeah. So yeah, I expected it to be super chaotic. For one, we didn't really know how many people were truly coming is the only reason why it was super chaotic for me.
Yeah.
Because we're used to, we're used to planning, and you know me, like,
Well, we plan events a year at a time. Like,
yeah, yeah. So it, I really had no expectations other than I was afraid that it was gonna be.
a shit show.
Thank you. A shit show. I wasn't gonna say it, but
I know what you were thinking.
yeah, I was afraid it was gonna be a shit show. But honestly, it was super fun. The guy was like, "Hey, if you do this again, let us know in enough time, and we can like help you cross promote it, and we'll put it on all of our socials. You know, you guys did it on your socials, and like we can really make it." And they've had events there of like 130 Mustangs in the past. So
Yeah, so
they're
they can
used
handle-
to, yeah, they're used to people really kind of being there.
Tim, I'm about out of it, but I'm drinking my single barrel.
And that's what the Petersons gave to you.
Was it? Yes, this
Yes.
was what they. So this has lasted me. Well, I mean, I did have a partial other bottle, but this has lasted me from Supercell.
Yeah. As some people might say, you might have
I
a
only
drinking
enjoy
problem.
that on the live stream.
But yeah, so that's kind of where, but it ended up being a really great experience. The guy was super nice. I mean, it just, we couldn't have asked for a better experience.
Yeah, food was good. Mine was very, very cold, but that wasn't their problem.
Yeah, I wonder why it was very cold, because it was 2 hours after I bought it for you that you ate it.
Well, there was that, but
you know, there's that.
Well, I was talking with Alan with Diabolical Inc., who does the Slipstream cargo enclosures that we have. It's the first time we actually got to meet Alan in person, so I needed to talk to Alan a little bit. There was some friends of the show came up and wanted to talk, and yeah, next thing I know, Kelly's like dragging me basically to come eat, and then I get my food, and
there's no seat for you.
No, it wasn't even that. It was like I knew there was more people outside, so I just wanted to entertain people that were out there. So,
well, and like I was telling the Petersons, it was like, it's not a huge deal, but this is literally like day in the life with living with you. Is that you have this one plan, and then I'm committed to that one plan, and then you go, no, let's go ahead and do this instead. And so then I go, okay, we're gonna pivot, and then you go, let's go back to the original plan. So like, our plan was to do takeout originally.
Well, we did anticipate the restaurant being more busy, where we probably would have had to do
right. So we planned for takeout, and then it ended up being okay that we could actually get a table. So he was like, okay, let's go sit down. So the Petersons were so sweet to go ahead and get a table for 10, and ended up this one's outside talking to everybody, not coming in. And I'm like wrangling. It's like wrangling kids. It's like wrangling kids all the way.
I'm like,
yes, and I do have to pivot a lot because of him.
Jeffrey says, how many hot pepper red Broncos did I see? I probably saw 6 or 8, probably. And I will say this. It's the first time I've seen one in person on a Bronco up close. Looks better than I thought it would. It's still not a color out for us.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say, but it does look better. I don't like it at all on a Ranger. I think it's horrible on a Ranger. And my daughter was asking about that over the weekend. She was like, why do some colors look different? Like,
on different
I was talking
vehicles
about the gas cans, because she saw those gas cans at Bronco Nation, and she was asking, they had the little dog pans or dog bowls, kind of whatever, they painted of the 3 new colors. And they were she was asking, why are they doing that? And I was like, well, some colors you can't tell don't always look good on the cans as they do. You know, it's because if you would see the code orange on just that gas can, because they had it there, I would be like, no.
So you did see it on a gas can while you were there?
Well, they had it on Raptors too there. But what seeing it on the Raptor made me assured that when I go for my Ranger, that is definitely the color that I'm going for on the Ranger. Because I want that Ford Performance color. I just think it's a fun color. But I did see a few, and I actually did like the ones I did see. Wait, I want to do this real quick. Honest, thank you for that. You guys know I like them crazy, weird super chats. So thank you so much for that. And there was one more. I will get to the big dog in just a second. Kevin Hess with his 456. I do greatly appreciate that $10. And the big dog, where did he go? How do we
go to starred? I've got him starred.
All right, thank you. Did you?
Yep, right there, right there.
There we go. Andrea, thank you so much for that. You are always way too kind to us, and we greatly appreciate all the support. And I'll do this real quick. I don't like selling myself. The membership's $5 a month. After 2 months, we tried to send out a lanyard, ATN branded lanyard. We're still working on something for longer term members. I mean, the members that got to meet us, you would think that would be an amazing payday, right?
Wow, you just totally said I don't like selling myself, and then
I'm just being funny. But anyways,
oh,
$5 a month, free entertainment here, whether you think we're funny or not. But it does help support the show. It helps us do trips like that, and so we greatly appreciate that. And honestly, out of that $5 a month, I get like $320 of it. So it's not like we're this is a get rich scheme. So there's that. There's also, we have Patreon. The links are in the descriptions, by the way, if you're more comfortable doing Patreon. We greatly appreciate whatever you do that way. We haven't figured out Patreon. Andy's kind of our sole Patreon guy over there. He's holding the fort down for us, and he's way too kind to us over there. But we're trying to figure out special ways to kind of give y'all something back. I mean, for all the support you do, but the super chats as well. Man, this is long-winded. It helps the channel a lot. And we've mentioned previous shows how YouTube has cut ad revenue basically in half. So it's not just us. Every big YouTuber out there has happened to. So your support means a lot to us. So that is it for the night. I'm not selling anything. Well, wait, we also have merch.
I was going to say, yeah, you are. You're going to talk about merch.
Teespring, we have a page over there as well. Which, damn it, I didn't bring them up. I got the new stickers in from them.
And stickers. Besides Teespring, which that's under gear on the website at allterrainnation.com. Next to that, it's Kelly's Picks, I think is what we named it.
It is.
And right now we have a discount code on our t-shirts. Because they are actually on the ones we have in stock.
So here's Kelly's Picks right here.
Yep. So if you click on Kelly's Picks, so those 3 t-shirts on the top, they are 20% off until September 1st with Muddy Waters 2022 as the code. So Muddy Waters 2022. So we have that on our YouTube.
And here is the Teespring. So if there's something on there, we have a couple things there. And so that's the stickers there. I just did these stickers. I got some in. Pretty good quality stickers. And that's all we're selling. We're doing, Kelly. That's it.
There you go.
That's it. We're done. All right. Wait,
don't touch anything.
Let me get rid of the screen real quick. And then you can have control. You can tell we have control issues.
No, I actually told my chiropractor that tonight.
You told your chiropractor that we have control issues?
No, I said I kind of have some control issues.
What do you like? Hey, I can pop my back better.
No, what it is, for those that have gone to a chiropractor, when you lay on the table, at least my chiropractor has you put one leg straight and the other leg is bent. Well, the one that's straight is the one that you roll on. So like he has to pull your hip towards him and like you feel like you're falling off the adjustment table.
Sounds naughty. That's okay.
So you feel like you're falling off the adjustment table and he's like, trust me, I'm not going to let you fall. I'm not going to. And he's a big dude, so he won't let me fall. But
you fall off.
but yeah, so you have to like trust because you really do feel like you're falling off the adjustment table. And so I told him, I was like, yeah, kind of have some control issues. He's like, yeah, we all do. A little bit.
Before it gets too far, Tim is going to Broncos.
Yeah.
Vegas.
How much have you drank?
Not enough. Vegas Bronco off rodeo next Monday, man. Congratulations. That should be a lot of fun, man, because Vegas, well, it's Vegas for one. And it's just north of town and it's a little drive, but not too far.
Super pretty.
I like that area, so I'd like to off-road Vegas. I've off-roaded from Vegas, well, not off-road. I've overlanded from Vegas all the way to Colorado, and going through the canyon stuff is so pretty, especially going through Arizona and stuff. Just real pretty, man. I love that area.
Jay Michigan said they're sorry they missed us in Michigan. Wanted to show the Bronco Script to us. That we our Bronco Script. That's right. I forgot that you had gotten our Bronco Script.
Yeah. And the Eagles say thank you. I'm into bears now. I'm watching bears live stream of bears just destroying salmon,
This
The
is new
run's
to
about
me.
over, but yeah, I've been
Is it
so-
live?
Oh yeah, they sit on this little waterfall and to wait for these little salmon to jump up, and the little salmon's like, "Well, my life's about to end. Let me jump up here and so I can go, spawn." And the bear's like, "Oh, it's about to end," and just like, they say fish have no feelings or sense pain. But these like they just grab them, just like.
How do they know?
I don't know. I think they surveyed them.
Yeah, they just asked him, "Hey, did you feel that?"
Yeah. Hey, did you feel that? No.
Yeah.
Okay, get the next one, Frank.
Yeah. Okay.
But yes,
Frank's your favorite word. That's like your favorite name.
I think it's a funny name.
MPG
Which
says,
is
"So which
better?
is better, race red or hot chili pepper?"
Race red.
Race red. That's my vote too. There was something.
I could live with the hot. If that was like the only they said we're only making it in hot chili pepper red, take it or leave it. I would take it. It's not like it's the end of the world.
Mark King in the house this evening. Welcome in, welcome in. And let's see. I had one more pinned here. Oh, Michael Rivas said ATN fantasy football, Reno for Super Bowl meetup.
That's right. We had our draft this past week that you guys wanted, and I got rated like a bad, like my record. What they returned my draft is saying I would be like 3-12 or something record.
Really?
Yeah, they kind of rank your draft order.
So you did fabulous.
Well, I'll win. It'll be all right.
NSU College Kid says, "I saw my exact build at the movie theater parking lot. Seeing the green in person, I wasn't in love with it after that. I can't decide what color I want. I may just go back to black like my current car."
The green's
not in love.
Bad. That's so at the Bronco Nation thing, somebody said there was like 200 something Broncos. Not there. I can tell you right now, there was not at their corral because they couldn't hold 200.
Oh, not at the Bronco Nation corral. No.
Maybe the whole weekend. That's what they had, which is still cool. Guys know I jab them when I feel like they deserve it, but they deserve the accolades. They did a good job. They had a nice area for people to park in.
And I'm a big fan of Michigan grass, so I really, really liked the grass.
I took my shoes. She's taking her shoes off walking through the grass.
You were supposed to tell everybody.
Well, I did. They're just close friends. It's okay. But they really did a good job of having what they had there in really limited space. The only time that we had a problem is when we were pulling in. And suppose I don't know the guy. He's on their show, but he was out directing something else when we pulled in, so he couldn't kind of direct where we wanted to or where we needed to be. So I just made my own parking spot, and then somebody followed us in, and that was it.
Yeah, the guy that followed us in wasn't.
But back to this, the green. Sorry, the green was everywhere between that and the cyber orange, like just everywhere. I couldn't believe like how many green I saw. And when you see like the cyber, I like the cyber orange. And I talked to this one early on when I wanted to do my reservation, and she was like, "Nah, I don't like that color." But I'm kind of glad I didn't get it because they were just all over the map, man. But we saw 3, including ours, rapid reds.
And I didn't see them because I was talking to people by our truck.
Sasquatch Badlands in rapid red.
Were we really?
They were bad. Both other were Badlands,
but they weren't Sasquatched. Poor things.
Which I have to say, we commented this before when we did that video. God, it's been well over a year ago. Last July, I think, when or not this, a year and a half ago, whenever it was, where we I walked around the at our dealership. They had that Cactus Gray Badlands. Remember that? And you were kind of like, "Oh, we don't really like that. Looks good." The 33s in a normal Bronco look great. So if you're on the fence about being like, man, I got to be with the big cats and just I need the Sasquatch. If you don't feel like you have to, because guess what? Tires are more expensive on a Sasquatch and they're going to wear out. Something we've noticed
they're
already.
Super soft.
We've got 12,000 miles, about 12,400 somewhere in there. Oh wait,
12,456.7 is what I rolled today.
Okay, so which we've taken a lot of heat on that picture.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious to me. But the tires are half gone already. So we'll end up getting maybe 24,000 miles on them. Really, they won't last that long because I do plan on they're being gone by Christmas. So I'll get at my normal job, I'll get my company bonus hopefully, and they will be gone because I will say though, after seeing Jody's KM3s, what did you think of his? He's got 37s.
I'll be honest, I didn't get a chance to really look too much at
I'm
them.
sorry, Jody.
I'm really sorry.
She's off the show. Get off the show. 37s.
They were 37s.
He
His truck looked good.
Yeah, it looked really good.
His truck looked really good. I will say that, but I didn't go up to it enough to pay enough attention.
Can you
And thank you so much for that super chat. And it was awesome to meet you,
it
by the
matches your
way.
shirt.
It does match.
I feel like it's canceling out your love of cup holders. Wait, come on. This is a family show. Let's
I wasn't being naughty.
No, but seriously, Pez said that means a lot
you
to us.
so much.
You guys are way too kind to us, and we greatly appreciate that.
And yes, grass is legal in Michigan, but it wasn't that kind of grass I was talking about.
Yeah. Man, what is the town that we were in?
Ferndale.
Dude, when we were at the I know why Ford put their booth there because all the people that had to walk around,
they wanted everybody to just be like, "I'll buy them all."
No, they wanted the contact, man. Like I'm with my kid there going, man, this is
Yeah, it was kind of funny because Sid goes, "Why is there all of that everywhere?" Like you had taken off going looking for Dwayne, and she was like, "Mom, why is it like everywhere?"
Yeah.
She's like, Can kids have it, or is it like adult thing? And I was like, it's an adult thing. Well, then why are they broadcasting it to everyone? And I said, it's like alcohol. They broadcast alcohol, but it's everywhere, Mom. There's one there. There's one there. There's one there.
It was
so
because it wasn't like that last year.
No, I don't remember it being like that.
No, the money's come in. And they're using it.
Yeah. So yeah, it's kind of funny. Yeah, don't drink the water in Flint. Yes. We actually went to a wedding last year in Flint, and we made sure we did not stay in Flint because I didn't want to stay and potentially have water issues.
Yeah, your nephew lives.
And I actually brought bottles of water to the wedding because it was a backyard wedding, and I asked my mom.
They said that area of Flint's not.
Yeah, they said it wasn't that, but it was like, you know, I don't know.
All right. What else we got going on here? And Dr. Detroit, I was very sad that we didn't get to hang out this weekend. I was really like kind of bummed that, I mean, obviously work calls, and when work calls, you answer the call.
Dog Overland said upgrade to the KO2s and 37s.
Yeah, but they just don't look as. I mean, I know for MTs it's gonna wear. I had the the KM2s, and they wore pretty. You know, you probably, if you can get 35,000 miles out of them, that's pretty good. Now that was with a 33, so a larger tire is gonna not wear as fast, but I still think if you got 40,000 out of them, you're okay. But no, the smart thing would be to just stick with you've always had the KO2s and you've liked that. I like the sidewall support. Yeah, but I just kind of like, I don't know. I just kind of want kind of a mud terrain tire on this. Don't put mud terrain. Mud terrains are going to be loud. Well, eventually you'll hear them, yes. And you've already made it loud enough with the exhaust. I have to say, that was not it. You could hear a slight of the exhaust, but you could hear a lot of, I won't say a lot because we preach that we don't get a lot of wind noise. You know, the on the highway it is, you do notice you're in a soft top. I'm not going to lie to people, but I did pay attention, kind of like you when I got into on the trip. You could obviously you would hear it when it geared down, that you could hear, but it would mellow out, and I don't think it was that bad. And she's not going to answer that one honestly because she doesn't want. I didn't pay that much attention to it. I'll be honest with you. So she didn't notice. Boom. Yeah, Dr. Detroit, we are definitely staying at a different hotel this time, next time. Or we're doing an Airbnb because that was not poor. We stay up by there because for what so we stayed up by there because it was like the middle ground between Flint and last year, the Dream Cruise. So we knew that worked for us to go to the Dream Cruise. So that's why we stayed in Auburn Hills this time, but we're not staying in Auburn Hills. Yeah, the Super Stream. We were going to stay with Kelly's parents while we were up there, and just couldn't. So they didn't have the space, honestly. But so yeah, and the Super Crew, they are Super Stream already booked their hotel at this place, so we just joined them, and yeah, we won't do that again. Tim with Overlanding for Fun got stuck in the hotel. Yes, he did. No, yeah. I don't want Toyos on us. See, Dr. Detroit, that's what I was telling the boys after we got back. I was like, here's where we need to stay. Like, it's closer. There's lots more food. There's nicer stuff. Like, there's nicer restaurants and stuff. So yeah. It's definitely on the. Any comments before we kind of get into the main talking about the Dream Cruise? I'm looking. I didn't know if you had anything. 37. Wait, what does it say? Mr. Dittmer down,
Where?
down, right there.
Darren Dittmer.
37 Nittos are the bomb. I like the way they look, but they're heavy tires. Like they're very heavy tires. And I want to say the BF Goodrich are, I want to say it's almost like 8 pounds lighter. So, and everybody has Nittos. I've always been a Michelin kind of BF Goodrich guy. So I don't know.
Tim said Town and Country in
Kentucky.
Kentucky are saying that on Facebook that October 1 is when Ford is taking new orders for retail.
No.
2023. Is this true?
No, not true at all. They're not taking retail orders till November. I want to say it was around my birthday. Is when it's late November when retail orders. It's October, was it 12th or 16th, something like that for reservation holders. And what they're doing is they're trying to get that big push of reservation holders so they can stack those, and then behind them retail orders will kick back in.
So, Michael, welcome to the show. Are you doing a 5-tire rotation? Well, funny you should ask.
We've talked a little bit about this on the show. So, one thing that Ford dealers have yet to figure out is off-road vehicles. They, and obviously they sell Broncos, so they know about a Bronco. But call your Jeep dealership anytime, and we have a Jeep that we would take to ours if need be on the rotations. And you call them and say, "Hey, do y'all rotate all 5 tires?" And they're like, "Yeah, why wouldn't we?"
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, "Okay." So call your Ford dealership, and they're going to be like, "We only rotate 4." And it's because they don't understand you have a full replacement tire sitting in the back of this thing. And why it's never dawned on anybody, why Ford trainers have never just kind of kicked in and been like, "Hey, we need to do all 5. This is a lifestyle vehicle, and lifestyle, there's a little bit required for a lifestyle vehicle that versus mom and pop's normal sedan or SUV." And they just don't get it. And it's not just us. We've called around a little bit. I want to say Tim with Overlanding for Fun talked about this a little bit where he's called around. And I've had other people ask me the same question, and they've called their dealership and they're like, "No, we only do 4." So these tires for me are not, if they worn out, they worn out. It's not.
But we did try to rotate our 5th in because we wanted to
I did
rotate our
push
5th.
when I had some, we had that pinion seal replaced. So they went ahead and did the service on the vehicle. And it was, no, they didn't do it at all. And I happened to notice that's how you can tell the wear of the tires. You look, I think I pointed this out to you. It's like you can look at the tire on the tailgate, brand new tire, a lot of, probably got about an inch of tread, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
You look, and we're about halfway done on the tires that are under it.
Yeah, and I have seen in several of the groups I'm in, people are asking, it was like, "Hey, do you rotate your 5?" And everybody's like, "Yes, rotate your 5, rotate your 5, rotate your 5."
You'll get more life out of it.
And a lot of people are saying, "My dealer won't rotate 5. My dealer won't rotate 5." And some are saying, "Mine said they would rotate, but I had to give them a diagram of what I wanted them to rotate." And then some are saying, "Make sure you mark your tires to make sure they actually rotated them where you wanted them to rotate them." So next time we will push harder, but as soft as these tires are, I don't know. I don't know how bad it will be next time for the full-size spare to be rotated in as a brand new tire against the 12,000 mile tires. By then it'll probably be 15,000 miles, and yeah, they're super, super tight.
Yes.
Or super soft.
I really think it comes down to training. They just don't know. They haven't trained because they don't know, honestly, because, Jeep's got, if you look at just say when the Jeeps really started getting popular with the YJs, and I know that's blasphemy for Jeep people because they don't really like YJs. They don't like the square lights, but that's when it started really them coming into their own as a company of like, here we're selling, before you could get CJ5s, they had a lot of scramblers. They had a lot of weird trims. And just poor built stuff. By the 90s, they're getting stuff, quality's getting a little better. And by the time they get to the TJ in the late 90s, their brand's really coming into its own and the dealers are really like, they're becoming Jeep dealers. And I think they've got 25 years over Ford. And this are little things that I've always talked that Ford took the soul of what made the Jeep popular, but they didn't get all the little details. And I still think our Bronco is way better than our Jeep as far as driving and everything. But there's a couple things we've noticed that they do that you're like, I kind of wish like Ford might have jumped on that train slightly. Interior pieces, stuff like that. And that's part
Definitely
of it.
not the seats.
No, not the seats at all. No. Maybe Rubicon probably has. I've heard the leather seats are a lot softer.
We actually joked about that on our way because we were like, what, like 6 hours into our trip down here. So we were like 2.5 hours, 3 hours away from getting home. And I said, how's your butt feel? You feel like you're in the Jeep? He's like, no, not at all. Because literally we were like 2.5 hours into our trip last year, leaving Michigan in the Jeep, and our butts were like, what the hell are you doing? And like, how are we going to last 7 more hours?
Yeah. And then on the way back, I was worn out, but I wouldn't say it. It was just, we had a lot of seat time over the weekend. So, so that was part of it. Iconic. The fifth tire have a tire sensor. Yes, it does. They have to activate it though. Tim with Bronco or Overland for Fun.
He put a link in there.
I was going to say he has a good video on how you activate that. And you can do it at home. Sorry, I'm answering some.
Dr. Detroit was like, okay, I'm switching to TV. And Dr. Detroit has a pretty sweet setup in his garage where he just watches the show.
Nice drum set that he's probably listening to me pounding the drums going, this dude needs to shut up.
He's probably like, Dave won't shut up. I know how that go. Yeah, in mobile, we would rotate our own in. Like, we're not opposed to it, but I'm always concerned that it's not going to be balanced enough if we rotate it.
Well, rotating is nothing. But no, the problem was like they had it for this.
Yeah, we just asked them to do it while they were doing it.
Yeah, I guarantee you though, if I went to Discount Tires where we normally get our tires from, they would.
Oh, they would have done it in a heartbeat.
Yeah, in a heartbeat. Because that's what they do. They know tires.
Somebody mentioned that Ford is laying off like
3,000 people.
And have some friends that are really scared about it.
Yeah, my understanding though, it's mostly upper management, and Tesla just did the same thing. Over COVID, they had a lot of people go home. Guess what they found out? They don't need a lot of those people that went home. So it's trimming some fat. They've got a lot of costs that have went up, especially in the EVs. You know, they're developing all these EVs that we don't even know about yet. There's a lot of development costs there. There's a lot of redundancy, and so they're going to let go of but I want to say 3,000 is globally too. It's not just in America. What?
Iconic Bronco said, I'll sell you my Raptor 37s if they arrive. I need some 39 KO2s.
Woo!
I shouldn't have showed you that.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have showed you that. So we're just going to keep on moving along.
Right.
Carl says, took a trip in my Bronco and got 22.8 MPG on 33 KO2s.
Best 21.7's what we've gotten on our Hyperloop with 35s. But I mean, we were, sounds like on the highway is a better. Yours sounds way better.
Allie said reservation orders in September not 100% announced for retail orders, so there's nothing live.
Allie, I've seen the paperwork. I know that you've seen, and no, nothing's official till they say it. But retail orders are not right away. They're honestly, Ford's tired of hearing all these people bitching and fussing about, which as they should, about not getting, like John Whittingham, who's one of our viewers in here. Wiedemann, I'm sorry. Why do I say Whittingham?
I don't know.
But he's one of the people who's I think he's a day two-door, 33-inch Badlands, two-door, nothing. Yes, there is a good video for that, Overlanding for Fun. Go, if you haven't yet, go subscribe to his channel.
I was going to say something. Oh, so 502 Bourbon Crew, we actually went through Bardstown, or we saw signs for Bardstown, and I took a picture. So I just wanted to tell you that.
Oh, the highlight of the weekend was the Frosty. So
yes.
So that story is,
I didn't even know they were going to Wendy's.
I didn't either. So we were live streaming, and Dwayne and Gavin wanted to go get some ice cream. Gavin wanted
ice cream from Baskin Robbins, and nothing else was going to settle except for Baskin Robbins.
And so you and Sydney went along with them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all were going to get some ice cream as well. And
we walked about half a mile for ice cream.
Yeah. So me and Tim were live streaming from the streets. And so I was like, let's just take this trip on the road. So
I told him, I was like, come pick us up. He's like, I don't know that I'm going to. I was like, yeah, you are.
I didn't pick you up though. You came to me.
That is true.
anyways, so we put the phone in the Bronco, which I have that nice 67 Designs mount in there.
Not sponsored,
Not
just a choice
sponsored.
of product.
Yes. And worked out perfectly. We're cruising the strip, and I seen Wendy's, and I was like, you know what? I hadn't had a Frosty. I hadn't had a Frosty in probably 5 years.
No, it's been quicker than that.
It's been a long time.
It's been like a year.
No.
Yes.
Longer than that.
No.
Anyways.
Because I bought you one.
Okay. I mean, I can't remember the last time I went to purchase one, so we'll say it that. So I get there, but then I forgot I gave Kelly my wallet so she could pay for ice cream. And Tim's like, I got you. And I was like, all right, man. So I'll give you an extra shout out this week. So Overlanding for Fun paid for my Frosty. So yeah, so we're trying to like going through this thing, and there was some dude peeing out there.
And I actually was able to use my Apple Pay at
but there was some guy like, yeah, of course they don't know we're live streaming, but I want to say Tim caught it. I didn't never catch it, but yeah, there was some guy peeing out there. No, I don't know that it was visible on camera. But yeah, the things we were seeing there, and yeah, so yeah, and then you guys jump in the vehicle, and we got you.
So we're, and you don't know this story because we haven't talked about this. So we're at Baskin Robbins, which is two buildings down from Wendy's, and Dwayne is watching the live and sees that you're at Wendy's, and so like he said, they're at Wendy's. And I was like, okay, we'll go to Wendy's. And like, I text Dave, which I know he's not going to see it, but I'm like, we're coming to you because I don't want him to like drive out and then, it's that whole mess. So we're walking over and Dwayne goes, I'm going to run up on him and like surprise him. So like at that point, I'm hoping that you don't see my text message at that point because we're going up. And I told Dwayne, I was like, we'll all hop in the car. We'll take you to your car. And he was like, no, you think we
had to walk a little
bit. It was probably almost a mile to their car.
Yeah.
And he was like, no, I was like, yes, we can just have laps for like a half a mile. Like it'll be fine. So we all like get up there and then the live happens with the Frosties and whatever. We're all like piling in and yeah, it was fun.
We had 6 in there.
We may or may not have had 6 in the truck.
Seat and me and Tim up front.
Yeah. There may have not been Gavin and
well, Becky's not watching this. It's okay.
Dwayne and Sydney and myself in the back seat.
Yeah, no, it was a lot of fun. And but that's the fun of silly things like that. And then Dwayne wanted to hear the exhaust. And so I got into it a little bit, and then Gavin thought that was a trip that I got into the vehicle like that. And yeah, we had a lot of fun. There was something up. Somebody got their Bronco in Ontario, Canada.
I had it. Give me a second.
Come on, producer Kelly doesn't have our computer with us, so we're fighting over a PC here. Congratulations, man!
Yay!
9 months, Ontario, Canada.
Wow!
Right across. Ontario's right across.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Right across
I saw the Windsor Bridge. And
it's not called the Windsor Bridge. It's called the Ambassador Bridge.
Whatever it is. But
we saw the Ambassador Bridge. We knew not to get off that exit.
You wacky Canadians. But
congratulations.
Yeah, that's awesome. But yeah, you were like saying how people will accidentally go that way.
Yeah, I actually have a girl from work, which I don't think I've ever told you this, but there's a girl from work who was driving to Michigan for whatever reason. I don't know what she was doing up there, but she said I got off the exit before I knew it. The sign said Canada. No exit. Yeah. Like bridge to Canada. And she's like, she went and she like went through because she thought we'll just go across, we'll come right back.
Yeah,
well, they wouldn't let her come right back. They told her she had to be gone for 24 hours before she could come back. And I don't know what was going on at the time. I don't know why, but that's what she said.
Passports?
It was before passports because she didn't have to have a passport. But yeah, they told her that
they were totally like, oh, sorry, eh?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Because she was like, she turned around and got ready to come back. And then she goes, they wouldn't let me back across. They told me I had to stay out for 24 hours.
What do you do?
You find a hotel in Windsor and you go drink.
Well, okay.
Or you do the casino and you hope to win lots of money.
Yeah. Gavin asked, why don't I drive that way? Driven Wild Outdoors says. All right, go back to your questions. And Kelly's highlighting questions, so we will definitely, if you don't see us answering right away, we'll definitely get to your questions.
Dr. Detroit says I work right there. I can spit on that from my office. The Ambassador Bridge.
Oh.
We have Ambassador Bridge and now Gordie Howe.
Let's see what else we got going on here. My memory of Detroit will always be those giant chemical tanks as they painted to look like. Yes. Like, well, it's the
Yes.
Pistons basketball.
Used to be the Pistons
It
basketball.
still was. I remember.
Oh, was it? I
Mhm.
didn't see him. So I didn't know.
Yep.
Jay Michigan says, "How did you like our roads? You don't need a sign telling you welcome to Michigan. The roads tell you as soon as you cross the state line."
So
We found that the first time I took you to Michigan.
the first time in
2006.
2006. Okay. Yeah, it was fall of 6. Then I
Yep.
went up there. As soon as you leave Ohio, smooth paved roads.
It's beautiful asphalt, and then you hit the state line.
Yeah, and then it goes right to concrete roads, which I understand why concrete because of the weather conditions.
Mhm.
It's just gnarly.
They have to.
But dude, it beat the shit out of me, man. In her little Cobalt she had, it was like, and they've gotten better, but there were some spots definitely. But as soon as you hit the Ohio line, it's back to asphalt paving, just easy going.
Well, and funny story, like I'm sitting in the passenger seat. He's edited a video, he's uploaded it, and then I'm working on like all the stuff behind the scenes. And he goes, "Go ahead and put a paragraph together or whatever." And I'm like sitting there, and all of a sudden I just stop. And like about 20 minutes later, he goes, "Are you done?" And I said, "No, because I can't, like, between the roads doing this and the roads doing this, I couldn't type on the laptop. So I had to wait until we hit the Ohio border to finish up."
Yeah, it was but I will say Michigan is a beautiful state that time of year. Like the weather was perfect, minus the rain.
Yeah.
So we were up there Friday night when all the fun was happening. We did the live stream and stuff, which people were tripping, like watching us live stream, like me and Tim narrating the stream. Like people were just looking at me all weird.
You're talking about the bystanders?
Yes, which I love, and I feed into it. When I get the weird looks, that's when I really feed into the fun of it.
He
And,
does. He totally gets on the stage.
Honestly, if I could have found somebody, because I was watching people, we were right at a red light. If I would have found somebody that would have kind of eye connected, I would have ran over to their car and like totally tried to interview them while it was going on. But I never could find that one person that.
That's because everybody was afraid to look at you.
Well, yeah, I'm so gangster with my backwards hat. They were probably like, "That dude that's an 8 Mile dude. He would take me out."
They don't wear their hats backwards.
And then they hear my slang, my country slang, and
they'd be like, "Oh, we're gonna go take him out now."
Yeah, we're gonna take him out.
Dr. Detroit says you need a Raptor in Michigan. I can see that with the suspension for sure.
So there were some press friends that were getting Raptors up there for an hour at a time.
Look at Nurse AJ coming in. Welcome in. Welcome in. Sorry.
But they were getting Raptors for an hour, it seemed like, at a time, and I couldn't figure out how to whizzle my way into that one.
Yeah, because we had a lot of journalist friends that were getting the seat time in the Raptor this weekend. Iconic says any Broncos get stolen. Not that we're aware of, but funny story. They're in it. I think it made national news actually, and I'm sure it probably made Bronco Nation or 6G or something.
This story made all the headlines.
I'm sure it did. So here in Murfreesboro, which is where we live, just outside of Nashville.
Our address is.
I wasn't saying that. P.O. Box 356, Rockvale, Tennessee 37153. There you go. There's our address. But anyway, a couple weeks ago, I think it was a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago, I see this article pop up, and I'm like reading through it, and I saw Bronco, and I was like, "Oh shit!" So I read through it, and so this guy had left his key fob
in Nashville.
No,
they caught him in Murfreesboro.
Oh, that's right. So in Nashville, he left his key fob in his Bronco, white Bronco, at that, and there was a police chase. Or no, there wasn't a police chase just yet because I got this. I got the story.
Sorry,
because I shared it with you. So. Anyway, the owner realizes his truck is gone, and he goes to the Ford app, finds out where his truck is, goes and like stays far enough away where he's not engaging in the guy that stole the truck, but calls the police and said, "Here's where my truck is," and meets him there. And the guy that stole it actually, like, when the cops come up, he runs, he takes off, and like he ends up being treated at the hospital for minor injuries or whatever. But like, the Ford app is no joke, guys. Like, totally helped him find his truck.
What a great. Yeah, but here in our.
But don't leave your key fob in your truck.
And that's the second time that. Right, the used to be a window tinting place right next to my office, and they bought a brand new Raptor about 2 years ago. And the guy, it was the first time having a key fob, and he forgot that Or no, I think he had it, but he literally just picked it up, and they put the second one in the center console.
Oh.
And he hopped in his truck, and some dude got in it and took off with it. They ended up finding that one too, but that's the second time I've heard that in this town. We're idiots here. That's what that says.
Not we.
Frank B, what's up, buddy?
Welcome in, Bronco Dude 2.
Bronco Dude 2?
Also.
Oh, I was like, is there a sequel?
Dr. Detroit said, Raptor and a gun gives you better odds. It's not that bad. You just don't want to pull into a neighborhood downtown past 8 Mile.
Right? Yeah, Kelly pointed that where she's like, don't get off on that exit.
Well, and I told him, I said, there's certain parts of 8 Mile that are okay. And then there's other parts that are not so great. So like the Ferndale 8 Mile area where you're okay because Ferndale's at 9 Mile.
What a nice area that was.
Yeah.
The houses there are so pretty. Just so pretty.
Oh, no, that's not actually Ferndale. So Pleasant Ridge is where Bronco Nation was.
Yeah,
and so that's where all the houses were that were
Yeah.
super pretty.
That was really cool.
Yeah. Airbnb right there in Pleasant Ridge next year would be amazing.
And with your supporting membership, you can help make that happen.
Bronco 78 says, hold on, overlanding for fun. I have to go unsubscribe so I can subscribe again tonight.
Hey, he's trying to give my pin away.
I know. He doesn't have it, though. I don't know. He might.
Yeah.
He might actually have it because he's a digger.
What do we got in this? You got up in the corner starred.
Chicago I meant Bears. To say hello to Flo.
Hey,
with
Flo.
The Chicago Bears comment. 502 Bourbon Crew, of course, in the house.
He took it. TJ Miller took his kid to the chiropractor with me to the chiropractor today. He said, "Oh, look, Dad's on that table has a wiener hole."
Oh, out of the mouths of babes, man. Out of the mouths of babes.
Wiener hole.
Jessica Dunn in the house. Welcome in, ma'am.
Hey, and she's got her Bronco now.
She does.
I saw a picture of her driving it, or like a front view of it.
Yeah.
Because she had to go from Texas to Louisiana to pick it up. She's on the other. She's San Antonio area. If I remember right.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's like 4 states away, really. In Texas terms, that's like 4 states away. Like, but what a way to drive it back, though. That would be awesome.
That would be awesome.
Getting to spend some time with your vehicle like that.
Kevin Hess says, do you have AT&T Apple Watch bands? We don't, but I'll look into it.
I'm sure Teespring
can offer it, so I'll look into it for you if you're really interested. I
want to go get the stickers.
Okay, goodbye.
Wow, kid got him on show.
Let's see. I'm working my way through the comments here. Ronald Russell in the house as well. Positivity Wins joining us this evening too. We already talked about our roads. Just going through making sure we got all of these. Oh, and Dana Watts, congratulations. Got your VIN and Build Week email Friday. 2-door eruption green, black diamond. Congratulations, because 2-doors are hard to come across. So that's awesome. Pavement Ends in the house. We haven't seen you in a while, Pavement Ends. Welcome in. Pure Blood Patrick said made it to, or Pure Blood Patriot made it to the Bronco Nation Saturday. It looked like Patrick when I first looked at it. Made it to Bronco Nation Saturday, live about 30 to 40 minutes away. Was so cool. I want one so bad. I wish I could have sat in one since no dealers had any. You could have totally sat in ours had you come over.
I would have damn near let you drive that thing.
Yeah.
I've let people drive people I didn't know. I rode with them.
Yeah.
But I would, if you're in the Middle Tennessee area and you want to experience a Bronco, come on, man. I don't care.
Michigan.
No, but I'm saying now.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. So Michael asked, did we think about camping?
No.
Didn't even consider it.
We camped where we stayed. Trust me. It was roughing it. We like camping. We haven't been in a couple of years because for whatever reason, we just haven't been able to. I think just because this has taken off for me a little bit, like schedules just haven't worked out for us to camp anymore. But I like to camp, but I don't.
Quick trips, we can't do camping.
Not. Like I said earlier, I rib Bronco Nation. They usually do a pretty good job. They got the money to do a good job behind them. But I like to dip in, but I don't want to hang out with those guys too long.
But from a camping perspective, when we go to events, we don't typically camp because we're on the go so much during events.
We've talked about exploring the upper.
We've talked
would
about taking a trip.
Ideally, what I would like to get is a little small, what is it, M416 trailer? I forget. The old Jeep style, not the big ones, but something like that where we could put a rooftop tent on it and do it that way. As far as like tent camping, probably our days are pretty limited for actual tent camping anymore. I'm old.
It's a true story. He is old. As the days go on, he gets older.
We all do, Kelly. Wow, the wisdom there.
Shut up. Honest as the wine cup is great. So you got your wine cup. Yay!
Good.
I'm glad you got it.
Speaking of Teespring, who we have, and I'm only because I
was gonna say,
I was all giddy about getting these. So these are the stickers that I they're on the website there. Lift everything. It's a little slogan. I'm sure it's not super original, but I thought of it one day, and then probably you see it everywhere, and I just didn't realize it. But put a little flair on it. That's not a Bronco, by the way, but it looks close enough.
Did you spilled the beans that it wasn't a Bronco?
Well, it could be a Jeep too. You just never know.
That's true.
It's actually neither.
Hey, Nikki, welcome in. We were talking all sorts of smack about you.
Kelly
earlier.
was talking a lot of shit about you.
You know better than that.
That's all I'm going to say.
Brian Nelson says, I'm going to be in Nashville next week. I'll swing by and take a test drive since I don't have mine yet.
Brian, wait, depending on when you're in.
Yeah, message us. We'll figure if we're in town.
Bring it up. Let you drive it, man, as long as it works out for my schedule.
Yeah.
And you smash that membership. I'm playing. I'm playing. It doesn't require.
He was totally kidding.
I was.
Don't take that.
Better late than never, Nikki says.
So, Jay Michigan, so the plan was, and I know Dave kind of already mentioned on this, like the plan was we were actually going to stay with my parents because they live in Rochester, but things came up and we decided not to stay with them. And then
our daughter got sick.
Yeah, our daughter got sick and we just wanted to be smart about it and not.
Her parents have never had the coof. So
no.
we and this is our daughter's second time, and she was well past like
she was well past the 10 magic days, but he hadn't gotten it this round because I had it a couple weeks before that. He hadn't gotten it this round, so we made the adult decision of not staying with my parents because he potentially could be carrying it for some reason, and I didn't want to get my parents sick. So they're in their 70s now, so we didn't want to do that. So that's why we didn't end up staying with them. But Overlanding for Fun and Driven Wild Outdoors. I'm still getting there. Driven Wild Outdoors had already booked a hotel, so we figured we'd all stay together in Bird Dog Overland and everything. So we all stayed at the same hotel, and we all decided that it was not going to ever be the same hotel again that we stay at. So
I've never seen the most rednecky, trailer trashy people.
Wow.
That was running the hotel.
Wow.
Like I can take you to some hillbilly places here, and they probably would have treated you a lot better than these people. No, my review would not even be a star on that place. They wouldn't even get that. My review is they're not going to get my time to review the place because it's horrible.
No, because I'll take care of it.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, I've worked in customer service long enough that they won't like me by the time I'm done with them. But I know that Overlanding for Fun is having a whole and he mentioned it earlier tonight. He's having a whole conversation with them and has been all day about it because he actually got stuck on his floor because someone got stuck in the only working elevator in the entire hotel for 2 hours. And he still didn't get to ride the elevator down. They had to come help him bring his stuff down. Really? Did you not know that?
Well, I heard he said they kind of threw it around. Or
yeah. So Tim said that they helped him take his stuff down 3 flights of stairs.
As they should.
Yeah. But yeah, and then threw stuff around. So yeah, it was not a great thing. And then unsupervised kids and
do's and don'ts of tent camping. Don't.
Yeah, right. Honest is Tennessee next weekend. Yeah, next weekend we're actually going to be. Well, I guess it's this weekend.
This coming weekend.
Coming weekend we'll be in Gatlinburg.
Gatlinburg for Jeep Invasion.
And we will not have our Bronco there.
No, we were going to take our Bronco to Jeep Invasion, but I thought I know how obnoxious Jeep guys can be from time to time. Not all of them, probably not even a quarter of them. But the idea of somebody throwing something at or just goofily playing around.
I'm just gonna say, has anybody heard the story behind Woodstock '99 and how that turned from like just like peace and love supposed to be to like crazy because of the bandwagon follow? That's the concern of the Bronco being like the only little kid in the pile of all
I'm sure
the big bad Broncos.
I'm sure we'll see some Broncos over there, but it's a big event, man. And Alan with Diabolical will be over there because he offers stuff for both Bronco and Jeeps and many other brands, by the way. And he's got some cool new products that he's got that sliding table that, or no, I won't say it's a table, but it's a slide out for the if you got like cool refrigerators and stuff, you want to slide it out. Very nice. And American made, small company, which you guys should know by now. I like dealing with small, good American made companies when possible. Not everything we can get is American made, but I don't like dealing with the big 4-wheel parts if I don't have to. And so I may pay a little bit more when it comes time, but I feel better about helping a fellow friend out.
Nikki, the biggest thing you missed is naughty is the word of the night. Take a shot.
Somehow somebody said that they kept saying it, and so now you have to drink when they say it.
Dave, did you keep the exhaust?
Yes. I did.
For now.
No, well, are you talking, Tim? Are you talking about the factory exhaust?
Yes,
I did keep that. I do have intentions of trying other exhausts out. I mean, part of that was to buy it, to test it, and I'm going to have a review coming up on that probably next couple weeks, where you'll get a full sound, of what it sounds like before or after, and kind of my thoughts on it. Because I want to take it through my Hyperloop, and we haven't done the loop with the exhaust.
Bye, Kevin. Thanks for joining.
Yes, thank you, sir. Or with the bumper and stuff on there. So I want to see if it has hurt it. I will say our trip going up, we averaged about 17 all the way. We were getting a little better going up than we did coming back. But I've done a lot to that vehicle. Exhaust I've done, which I don't know that why exhaust might cause it to the fuel economy to go down slightly, but I feel like I've noticed it going down just slightly because of the exhaust. But at the same point, I've also pushed the wheels out 1.5 inches. I put smaller non-Sasquatch fenders on it, so there's a lot of more resistance.
More tire.
Yeah. So but I'm going to do it on the loop.
Tim actually asked, was like, no, you don't have aftermarket. So yeah, we do. We have the AWE single exhaust.
Oh, yes. So I have it. Yeah. AWE single. It's in the off-road, their off-road exhaust. And it sounds like a Raptor to me. It really does. I like the way it sounds. Going under bridges was kind of fun to get into it and hear that real loud.
He had too much fun with that.
I did.
Because there's one that goes under like
by the zoo there.
Yeah. Between Pleasant Ridge and Ferndale, or is it the other way around? I don't remember, but it's where the zoo is. Got kind of stuck in traffic under there, and he's like revving it, and I'm like,
that's the one bummer about these modern vehicles now. You can put them in neutral, and they're not going to let you rev past like 2,000 RPMs. They're not going to let you rev these.
Darn
bullshit, man! I want to give it the revies.
Nurse AJ says, I'm camping in a bougie camper, but I have a fifth wheel in production now. So no roughing it here. I'm with you, sister. I have no problems camping in a bougie camper.
But
I have to have an actual like mattress.
One of the last times we camped when Kelly was pregnant, you were what, 8.5 weeks or
8.5 months
pregnant. Yeah. And it was Memorial Day?
Yes, because we had her in July.
Yeah. So we're out at the local lake, and I go out before you were working that Friday. So I go out before, get our camp spot with our friends, and I set the tent up. Mama Bear comes in, and we had an air mattress, which, hell, I like an air mattress. I don't want to sleep on the hard ground anymore. But I come back, and I've got a picture somewhere that I'll find that she's got. I swear there's tables on each side of the. There's nightstands with lamps. There was a flat screen TV at the end of this thing. But she had full set of sheets. I'm not kidding.
Legit.
She had queen set of sheets.
Yep.
The light sheet, whatever you call that one.
So there was a full set of sheets, and then there was a comforter on top of it.
I was like,
well, I mean, why do a sleeping bag?
I didn't complain. I'm not complaining.
You just
but,
like to harass me about it.
yeah, but I was like, damn. There were nightstands.
See, there were not nightstands. He just likes to give me a hard time, even though he enjoyed it.
But we did have a buddy that brought a full air conditioner one time.
Yes, that
It
was a different time.
Was blowing cold
That was
air.
when Sid was little.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like super jealous because it was kind of hot there at the.
And that Bronco 78, that's for me. Like our dream setup or my dream setup, then I think you've agreed with that. If we could have a trailer that we could not a camper trailer, but just like a with a rooftop tent or something where we want to go exploring and moving around, where we can have all of our camping gear basically ready to go. So on a Friday, you just grab it and go. And ideally for me, that's where it would be.
Yeah.
For us.
I would agree.
Yeah.
What's the border of Pontiac, Detroit, or Dr. Detroit? I may have missed.
502 is talking about doing the cat there in Kentucky, which is sounds a lot of fun. I don't know that there's yeah, they had a lot of flooding over there, but before that, it was pretty easy. Some gravel roads, some off-road.
Iconic Bronco said big enough Airbnb for everybody would be a good time.
Windrock has a
massive
cabin now. I want to say it holds like 25 or something.
Yeah, something like that. It's crazy.
What's on his said?
Oh, so Overlanding for Fun said they spilled his case of audio visual AV and drone gear. I'd be pissed.
AV.
Yeah, it's audio visual is what AV used to stand for.
Oh, you said avian after it for some reason.
Whatever.
All right, positivity wins. Thinking of adding the Haas 3.0 when I reorder again for my 23 thoughts. I think it's a lot of money that unless you're really taking that thing to the dunes, I don't know that you're going to notice. You're getting a little bit, supposedly, I haven't seen any part numbers on this yet, but you're supposedly getting a better steering rack and a little bit beefier tie rods. And speaking of tie rods, we're going to talk about that. This pissed me off.
I showed you last night.
I need you to find where that was.
What I found last night.
Yeah. Some bullshit. What I seen, and I'm going to rant.
Tim says Kelly has a smile on her face. Dave, I always say happy wife, happy life.
What did I do?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't remember what it was at that time.
But yeah, so I mean, if it depends on are you okay with spending that kind of money? Is it bad? No, you're getting but is the value there? I don't know on the 3.0, and I've not got to test the 3.0. Is it a better setup than the 2.0 that's in the Bronco now? Of course it is. It's slightly better, but I don't know. I want to say it was like $6,000 or something more. I can do my own lift with a way better coil setup for that kind of money than what they're offering, with better upper control arms and the whole bit. Place finding something that really pissed me off last night. She caught me on this when I was going to sleep. I'm not in that group.
You're not in that group.
I had to leave that group.
Maybe you can still see it though.
She's looking for this. Let me see, you got it up here so let me get oriented with this. RPG full tie rods. Anybody here interested in some RPG full tie rods? Because I know everybody was, and these guys loved it. People were scared of these factory tie rods, and you'll have to remove that one. Not add, remove. Everybody was all like, "Oh my god, the factory tie rods! We got to have these big, heavy duty factory tie rods." And this came up last night, and this could have got somebody killed. This is why you choose your aftermarket company. You choose them well, and dangerous. I mean, I don't know if in the comments if they've talked about how dangerous. Let me have this minute. How dangerous this is. But first off, there you can see, okay, a tie rod broke. The tie rod broke right there. Like, he wasn't on a trail. Now it looks like he's running 37s on there. Those look big, beefy, heavy. But look at the threads. So this is the thread that connects the, I want to say the inners to the outers. Look at it. See how it's all stripped there? Look how look at the guy's finger. Put your finger up and go.
Click on the 2 replies.
That's the depth.
Okay, that's not the comments then.
So you can see it here. Let me see if I'm plus this.
Well, and you can see how it ate up they are too.
Yeah, it's because they ripped out.
Mm-hmm.
And there's some of the people who have no idea how they build this shit. Are like, oh, it's probably just a manufacturing issue of something they missed in quality. I don't give a damn if they missed in quality. That's not enough threads to safely hold your tie rods from the inner and the outers together at all. Now there's a pivot here. There's a heim joint. So that means there's even more stress being put on this thing. And Kelly brought this to my attention last night. And there is look how much. So that's that's where the thread goes into. Look how much space they have for actual thread. And it ripped itself out because there wasn't enough thread to physically hold this damn thing together. And I'd forgotten all about this. I'm glad you brought this, or it was sort of brought up. This is, and for somebody just to kind of write this off of like, oh, they just probably just a little bit of oops, bullshit. Somebody put that shit together should have lost their job if that was an oops. Because I'm telling you, there's not that much threads holding that damn part together, and where it becomes dangerous is not where it happened where he was on a trail going probably 20 miles an hour, and all of a sudden you hear clink and the wheels go together. Imagine being on the highway doing 75 miles an hour and that happens. Then what?
Yeah. So, and here's the comments back and forth. So somebody tagged them, and then hopefully this was a fluke in making them. And then the guy comes in and says, we found that some threads on the stock tie rod setup were really short. So we had to shorten the threads on our bolt going back into the rack.
That's not where that's going, though.
We would prefer to have at least 2 times the bolt diameter for thread engagement. We want this thread engagement to be as long as possible. And so somebody's like, so what's the fix?
No, but go back to that first point. Let me see this just a second, because I want to highlight this. This, I'm assuming, is somebody from RPG.
I'm assuming so.
So we found the stock tie rods were really short. So we had to shorten our threads. No. You built a fucking brand new part. You're not restricted to what the factory does. The only thing restrictions you have is point A to point B of where it goes into the rack to the actual knuckle. That's your only restrictions. I don't want to hear some bullshit. This is lawsuit bullshit that they got right there. Don't ever open your mouth up and say this. We found that this factory did it, so we did it. No, that what I saw there is dangerous, and I would never use this company for anything. And I'm sure they make great products all now, but these tie rods, factory tie rods, I can get them all day long for the Ford Ranger for about $30.
Well, and here's to top it off. These are $900.
Yes, $900 for this bullshit that could potentially kill somebody. All right, Kelly, go. I know you had more you wanted to get into that.
All right, so
I'm pissed off, as you can tell.
You just we warned all y'all that he was going to be tired today, and he might be WTF day today.
I completely forgot about this bullshit.
So guy asked, "What's the fix for this? Because to keep this from happening." Well, let me know what your thread depth is. Let me know what your thread depth is.
No, how about you just send them a completely brand new tie rod?
No, I don't think this isn't the original guy.
Okay.
This is somebody else.
Okay.
So let me know what your thread depth is, and we'll send you a set of bolts and overnight them to you.
So let me research and develop this for you now. Something you've already sold to hundreds of people at $900 a pop.
Like this guy says, wait, so you're saying because Ford had a shit design on some tie rod ends, you did the same thing? That's an absolutely amazing upgrade. Especially for $900. Like $900.
I don't even care about the money. It's the lack of attention to detail.
Bye, Honest. Thank you for joining. Happy birthday week.
Yes, sir. Happy birthday. The attention or lack of attention to detail that's scary. And that's what you have to watch with aftermarket companies. And there's really good ones out there. And these guys may be really good at most of the stuff they do. But on this, they had to be first. And you're finding out a lot of these companies, we had to be first. So I even think 4-wheel parts, some of their upper control arms or something, they just because they wanted to be first, were completely well thought out. And I want to say them or somebody else had to change something real quick. But let's get this off screen while you're reading over there. In the comments below, let me know what you think. I'm not an engineer by any means, but when there's that much thread holding on and you see a hole like that deep and they've only used that much of it. And
bye, Mark. Thank you for your or for your order, by the way.
Yes. And for their bullshitty excuse of going, well, we found Ford did that.
Bye, Nurse AJ.
I can guarantee you Ford didn't do that at all. Ford didn't go, okay, it's good enough. No, they have lawsuits for shit like this. And the fact that people, I know they jumped on them because they thought, oh, Heim joints, it's tough, it's off-road worthy. You know, these cheap things that are breaking on these normal tie rods. I'd rather have a Ford factory tie rod break on me on a trail, but knowingly that thing, I put a new one on and I go down the highway and it's not breaking. And there might be people, Kelly, that said, there was that one I kind of call bullshit on. He was in his driveway. I was just turning my truck and the tie rod snapped. I kind of call bullshit on that. Maybe it happened, but
by Airplane Mike.
I'm calling bullshit on that one. This, on the other hand, you've seen it. You could see how much there was holding that thing together. And for the bullshit excuse, that dude should be fucking fired for even commenting on that. If you work for that company, you should be fired for that, because you're basically saying, oh, well, your family that's in this doesn't really matter. We found that this company did it, so why don't we do it? Bullshit, man. I don't care who he is. He's probably the nicest guy in the world. He says he's a mechanical engineer for RPG off-road. Well, if you're a mechanical engineer, see that right there. Because that's dangerous, and your comments are dangerous. So anyways, I'm done with that because I'm mad because I remember you reading that to me last night, and you were
half asleep.
I was half asleep and I was still mad, but half a drink in me.
Are you done now?
Yes. So
you done ranting?
I'm sorry, Corey. You're probably a nice dude, but that was a bad comment. So sorry, guys. What are they saying here, Kelly? I don't
know.
I think they might be scared to
probably
to comment.
They agreed. Andrea said, I actually have a pair of RPG tie rods, just haven't installed them yet. Guess I should be glad. Yikes. Omnipotent Elon says, I wonder if they're still selling them on the site. Well, I'm sure they are.
Go find over there. Yeah, do you think they have a new and improved design that quick? Because this popped up yesterday, right?
Yeah, last night.
So it was a week guy having fun on the weekend.
They do Raptor products, all sorts of stuff.
And they do, like, and this company's been around. They have a reputation of being a pretty good quality company. I'm not going to say they're not. But RPG, you want to come on and debate me on this? Come on. Bring it. There's their doors. And
I'm working on it. It doesn't have a Bronco section.
Anyways, we're not seeing them right away, but I'm pretty sure they have a kit. See, there's it talks about in the kit for $3,800. For $3,800, you can risk your family's life.
It has the upper control arms, tie rod kit with boots, rear lower link, and a spring perch collar.
Once again, if I understand sometimes one bad thing happens that can not be the normal. Maybe this is
but your point is that this was brought up and it was brought that said, hey, this is an issue, and then the response was, oh yeah, we know it's not short enough, or it's too we couldn't make it longer.
Yeah. Wow.
That's the problem.
Andrea, you should pull those apart you have and see how much thread is actually in those. There they are.
Which one? This one?
Full tie rod kit.
Half tie rod kit. Full tie rod kit.
No, it's the full. So it's okay. So it is towards the yeah, I was gonna say bring it up. It's ready. All right, so there's the kit, and where it came apart was back here. And I think what they're doing is they're probably trying to reuse something they already have in their shop to make it work. And the threads here should be way up in here.
What they don't show you in this picture is the other the other shoe is the other way.
Oh, well, you can get these dangerous things in different colors. But once again, maybe I will say this as a rebuttal to what I've said earlier. Maybe somebody took their shop and was trying to adjust this thing to get the toe and everything back in, and maybe
Naughty.
that is what happened. So I will say there is a chance for
I tried 502 Bourbon Crew.
There's a chance that, you know, maybe it's not their fault. Maybe it's not a bad design by that it could just be somebody didn't adjust something properly. But for that answer deserves the stern finger I'm giving you, RPG. And once again, I'm sure you're a fine company. I have no association with you. I've never used your product. I've heard a lot of things about you. It's all been good, but that comment, Kelly,
I know
it's not that little shit happens, you know, but just that blatant, like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, because what they'll do is they'll go, well, these are for off-road use only, so there's no warranty. Oh, it's off-road use only. So when your family got hurt, sorry, it's strictly said off-road use only. And which is how these companies get away from, I mean, you can still sue them, but it's their way of just kind of pushing that away.
Well, and here's the problem for them, that if somebody were to come out and sue them over this, now RPG's in trouble because the guy came out and said, "Oh yeah, we know it was a faulty design."
That's what I'm saying. I would screen
like we know it's broken. Like we just couldn't make it safer. Like that's the problem.
Dave needs a Snickers.
Yeah, and somebody else said you needed a Sharpie.
Sorry.
Or Sharpie. Frosty.
Sorry. Oh man, Frosty would be good right now.
502 Bourbon Crew says, to be fair, I think he offered some replacement dangerous parts. That was to somebody else who was concerned.
Once again, giving it a little thought. Maybe they took it to the alignment shop that just didn't know exactly what they were doing, but it doesn't sound like it.
Well, Omnipotent Alon said, see, the actual black part is thicker than the factory or Ford's factory, but the thread is no good. Yeah, that's the problem, is that the thread is not. Yeah. And like Mobile Moto said, it should be 3 to 5 times. 3 to 5 times.
I was curious what Mobile had to say about this one, because that's it matters. Like, you need some thread depth to that. That's just like
size matters here, people.
Yeah, but it's just like it's like me not taking this pin and putting it all the way in. It's just like doing like this, and you're getting it's allowing those threads to do this. And then what's happening is he's off-road, it's sitting there wearing, mm-hmm. and then it just pulls apart, which is why you need a lot of threads, and it's solid. You can't twist that.
Oh, look at you teaching.
This was brought to you by Overlanding for Fun.
In the Frosty.
Yes, and paying for the Frosty. If you want a Frosty, you too go to Overlanding for Fun.
Mark W. Bone says RPG design is naughty. And 502 Bourbon Crew told me to say naughty, so it would calm you down.
Oh, do I have
so you have to drink?
Oh, I didn't know that.
I
thought it was just
like 3.
I'm not drinking 3, man. My glass is
3 sips will be fine.
My glass is empty though.
Mobile says I wouldn't put that shit on my Bronco.
No. In Mobile, like I trust Mobile's opinions on this kind of stuff. And
Positivity Win said you needed bourbon.
I'm about out. My Bourbon Crew used to send some every once in a while, and they
not 502 Bourbon Crew. Don't worry.
No,
pressure's not on you.
Wow, that's the bad thing with your name in my show.
Isn't that the same setup that was contacting the Springs? Mobile said.
I'll be honest, on some of these aftermarket companies, I don't follow. Oh, sorry, knees hurting. I don't follow them that as much because, you know, there's generally not news there. So I know we're kind of that we're enthusiasts of the Bronco, but usually I look at more of the automotive news. Are you trying to get crazy with me over there?
Nope.
Okay.
Omnipotent said, you would think that aftermarket is to improve the parts than factory.
For fun, gifting members.
Aw, that cool.
Who did you gift them to? Overlanding for Fun?
Yeah. Or is that thing where you can opt in to gift, where they give it for free? I can't remember how that works.
That's cool.
502 says I hoard my bourbon.
Yeah. Omnipotent. You would think aftermarket is to improve.
I already said that,
Okay.
but you didn't listen.
The factory. Yeah. No, not claim that we only did that because the factory, like, let's do this. So let's leave your picture up there. And I'm gonna find a Ford Bronco tie rod.
Oh, you spelled it wrong.
It'll fix it. All right. Of course, it's wanting to show me every freaking aftermarket, not the actual. I have the Bronkbuster.
There's
thing.
factory and Fab Tech.
All right. Perfect. And I don't know anything about.
Right here.
There it is. Thank you. All right. This is going to be perfect. All right. FabTech design, factory design. You can tell it's beefier where it connects into the rack up there. So, God damn it. If I move this. All right. So here's the breaking point. If you can see where the arrow is, that's the breaking point they're having right now with the factories. And what it is, it's a metal that is supposed to, under stress, that's where you want things to break. I would rather break a tie rod than a rack, because guess what? I can go get tie rods for $30, put, have it realigned for another $100, and then I'm under $150. I'm fixed. You break a rack, there's $1,000. I know. I think it's $1,100 right now for the new retail for the new rack that Ford's saying they're putting in the Bronco. A lot of money for a rack. And what a lot of people aren't thinking about, I think they think, oh, it just broke. It's bad. Yes, they probably could have put a little beefier tie rod on these things, because rarely in any other vehicle brand I've ever had that I've heard breaking this many. But also, we also know Bronco's brought in a lot of new people to off-roading
that don't know what they're doing.
That they've never, it's their first off-road vehicle. Like the stats are out there. It shows this. So there's a little bit of driver error probably. But yes, Ford probably could have done a little bit beefier. But where they break right there, you can see the threads. See how much threads left? See the shaft right here? This is where the threads stop. I guarantee you that's almost all the way threaded in there. For one, it gives you a little bit of adjustability for get your camber and everything right. And obviously here's the factory ball joint. Not that it's not a bad ball joint by any means. And these are Heim joints. Heim joints are squeaky as hell. You have to keep lubed. You have to keep grease on these things. It definitely is a way stronger system. It's for hardcore off-roading is where these came out. I used them in my solid axle Xterra that I built. And it's just a beefier part. But, look at, they're not showing how much thread there, but I guarantee you this is a bigger thread on this tie rod than what the other company is using. I guarantee you they went with knowing the abuse this was going to take. And if the other company is saying basically, well, we just use kind of what Ford did, it's no better. Now these are $988. There you can see it now. That is a beefy son of a bitch, though. I will tell you that right there is beefy, and they're probably about an inch bolt that's going threaded through there. Versus, I don't know what the other company is, but it didn't look like it was an inch. It's definitely bigger. The other RPG is using something bigger than what Ford factory is probably using. But if I had to choose between the two, I'm probably going here, even though they're $100 more. But still, I would rather break a tie rod than not break a tie rod, as far as like things I have to fix. Because you strengthen up one area, you find a new weakness. All that energy travels when you're putting stress on the tie rods. All that energy is traveling to the center. What's in the center? Your steering rack. We already know, I'm up and down with Bronkbuster about some of the stuff he's doing. He has this where he's beefing up the steering rack and all that. I don't know that you need all that. But I have the Bronkbusters on mine. I feel comfortable with them. There's other sleeves out there, but the RPG ones, from just that guy's comment alone, I just find that disrespectful to any customer who's bought his product, and not acceptable to me. And I'm not going to beat up on it, because once again, I'm sure they're nice people. It probably didn't mean that to come out. I put my foot in my mouth all the time. I probably did it tonight talking about this. So,
Welcome to my world, folks.
but guess what? I'm not responsible for making a part with people's lives on the line. So there you go. Max Martinez says you are 100% correct. RPG uses billet tie rods. Your steering rack is now the weak point. Yes, which is that's just off-roading. So the more if you're newer to off-roading and you're like concerned like with these things, little things breaking, you beef up one thing, you find the next weakness. Now you can go through the whole drive line and eventually like make it
bulletproof.
Well, I won't ever say
Close.
bulletproof, but better than the factory, 50% better. But at what cost? You know, because then you're getting into once again the tie rod that we know is about $30. An alignment's $100, 100 under $150. You're fixed. Do you need to spend $10,000 now on the front of your vehicle? Now there'll be people like the Light Bright people who go and beat the shit out of theirs for just because it gets some views. Bronkbuster to an extent, he's a super nice guy. He was very, very kind and gave me a set of those Bronkbusters to test out. And they're expensive, and I'm very appreciative that he did that for me. But I would rather use his Bronkbuster to strengthen it than some of this other stuff. But these are Jeep companies. Don't get me wrong. They're Jeep companies and stuff that are diving into this. Obviously, RPG was doing Raptor stuff. Raptor's been around for 10 plus years. So they know. I think people were just such in a hurry to jump into Bronco that they just went, oh, we have this on the part shelf. We got this on the part shelf. We put it together. Wow, damn, it fits.
Well, it's definitely a survival of the fittest kind of a situation is what it was. I think they were like, oh shit, here's a Bronco, here's a new product we have to do. All these people are going to want this aftermarket, so we have to figure out how we're going to do it. And to your point, yeah, I think we don't know for sure, but you took parts off and reverse engineered them and said, how can we make this work for the Bronco? So not necessarily engineering for it itself. Positivity Win says, how scary. This is further convincing me to opt for the Haas 3.0.
Yeah, I mean, once again, Positivity Win. Here's the thing with it. If your wallet can handle what the extra cost, I want to say it's like $4,500, maybe not be $6,000. If your wallet can handle that, do it, man. It's definitely an improvement. Now, how much improvement? I don't know. I've seen the rack that they putting in those. They had it at SEMA last year. Ford Performance did. I want to say they had the tie rods with it, but I couldn't notice anything really different from the tie rods. Bronco 6G, I know, has some stuff out where they're showing some of the part numbers being different than normal. And so I'm sure they are different. They can't say it's better and not be an improved product, but
Omnipotent Elon pretty much nailed it. Marketing is the problem. They basically said, hey, look, the new Bronco, it's the greatest of all time, and it's basically dummy proof. Anyone can do it. Now you get newbies thinking the truck is a tank. And it is a tank.
We've seen that with the Jeep crowds. So Jeep guys, there's always that new Jeep guy that buys one and thinks the Jeep is why it's badass going through trails. And I seen it a lot with Humvee guys and Hummer guys. They think, oh, I bought this, it's military grade. I bought this thing. It's a tank. It's made to do this. Well, yeah, but requires some skill of driving.
Yes.
We had this problem in the.
But that's what Omnipotent is saying, that it was a marketing saying, hey, you can go do there and be stupid.
Go over all terrain or whatever.
Whatever.
Greatest of all time. I don't know what I know what they're implying. Yes. But they did. The Bronco brought so much new people to this that we see a lot. And you guys that they come out and say, hey, I'm new to this. Don't go into off-roading, especially because there's people's lives involved. I know that sounds crazy, but if you got your family with you, you're thinking, oh, I've got this badass vehicle. Go learn, go slow, man. I hate seeing people that go, I want a base Bronco. I'm going to build it up with 40s and all this. 9 times out of 10, those people already know what they're doing. So it's a bad example, but they brag about it. So somebody else goes, oh, I'm just going to go buy this and do exactly what Frank did. Because, I like Frank. But the problem is, I always tell people when they're upgrading, learn what you have.
Yes.
With Kelly didn't get a beefy Xterra when you went and learned how to off-road. I think the biggest thing we did, I put some good tires under your vehicle, and that was about it for a long time. You didn't get a lift and all that stuff. And slowly learn, and you're learning what you're spending money on. I've seen a lot of guys, because we're near Clarksville, Tennessee. So I was friends with people at 4 Wheel Parts here. Guys from Clarksville would come back they'd have those big checks from coming back from overseas. They'd buy that brand new Jeep, and then they'd go spend $25,000 at 4 Wheel Parts, have zero clue what they spent their money on, other than the big tires looked really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And so go break some stuff. Yes, it's scary to break things. Tie rods are pretty easy to put in a vehicle. You can do it on a trail.
Disclaimer: don't break stuff.
No, don't go with the intention of I'm going to break, but things will break. But I guess my biggest thing is go wheel with people.
I was gonna say number one rule is go with people for one.
Yes. I don't care if it's a Jeep.
Don't wheel alone.
There's always the fun ribbing, but guess what, man? Most of the time, any real off-roader who's done it for a while, when you break, they're jumping, or they're probably the first one to help fix the problem. And you return the favor once you get more experience.
And you're not a huge fan of off-rodeo because it's not your thing. It's not your gig.
Right.
But I highly recommend, and Omnipotent Lawn mentioned, go to Bronco Off-Rodeo. Do it. Like, if you are brand new, I know that's what I'm saying. Yeah. You personally, it's not for you because you've been doing it for so long. Yeah, right. So it's not a product that was made for you specifically, which I think you still could learn something.
I'm sure I would.
But highly recommend you get it with your reservation, or like you get it with your Bronco. Like, it's free ish, cost you your $35 plus whoever you want to take with you. But if you've never been wheeling before, or you want to learn the Bronco, do an off-rodeo. Do it. And I've talked about this for several months. People have asked, like, what should I go do? What location should I do? I tell people I tell people two things. If you have ever wheeled before and you just want to go for the experience, go to your bucket list. Mm-hmm. If you have not wheeled or want to learn more about your vehicle and how to use it, go to where you will be wheeling your vehicle. Go to the terrain that is similar to what you will be wheeling your vehicle in. Because if you don't, there's no if you don't. So that's why I recommend that, because you're going to learn how to use that truck on how you typically are working on it. So Max was asking why we're upset at RPG. Long story short, their product failed for someone because their threads weren't deep enough. And then somebody who's the engineer for it just came in and said, oh, we knew it was too short. We did it that way because Fords were short.
Yeah. That we didn't improve it, basically. And once again, Max, I'm sure all the parties are great people. I know they build a good product. I think what set me off more than anything was accidents can happen, sometimes quality issues, but for the person who works for them, I don't know his position in the company, to say what he said was pretty disrespectful, and it's not a company that I would want to buy parts from. If that's your company's stance. Now, he didn't say, hey, I'm with RPG.
No, but his profile says he's with RPG.
But he didn't come out and say, I'm with RPG, and this is our stance. I just kind of found it disrespectful. Once again, nothing against them at all. Go buy their products if you like it. After seeing what I've seen, I think I would stick with factory, or maybe move over to the other company.
Matt says, I didn't have that much experience, so the off-rodeo really helped me a lot.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm not in like Kelly said, I'm not like those people are stupid. No, they're showing you how capable you use your vehicle. They're not saying go out and climb the Rubicon with your vehicle after doing it. They're just saying, here's how the vehicle works. Here's what you can expect it to do. They give you a little bit of challenge and you move on. Once again,
they teach you the foundations.
Yes. To kind of some other things I've seen over the weekend. Yesterday, there was showed a brand new dealer drive out tags, almost rolling his damn Bronco down a cliff because he got in some mud. He started sliding. You could tell he just kept going, and it kept sliding further and further. And it almost looked like he put it in the front of a tree. And it's raining, and somebody took the picture. I think it was abandoned, or they went to get help. Somebody rolled up on it. No top on the vehicle, so they were just out kind of probably just.
And it was a Bronco?
Yeah, just got it. It was eruption green, 2-door, if I remember right. And I want to say it was a base, so it had street tires.
Bye
on.
502. Thanks for joining.
Yes, thank you, sir. It just wasn't, probably no skill or lack of skill.
Or they could
Bad
have come up
condition.
on, I was going to say bad conditions could have come up
Yeah.
on it and just all of a sudden it was done.
But knowing what you have, that's why I'm saying early on, go do very easy stuff. Find somebody. Don't just assume that the vehicle does all the work, because it's 90% driver. Now, there's easy buttons. I've got front and rear lockers. Yes, those are easy buttons, but those can get you in a lot of trouble as well. So Kelly doesn't get to go just start pushing buttons because she thinks that's what she's to do. We'll talk through it.
What?
And I explain, okay, put the front locker on. I want grip.
Oh, when we're going through stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not just like, that's why I don't like the goat modes necessarily, because people just assume, turn the knob. Oh, it's in rock crawl mode.
Well, and that's what was great about off-rodeo too, is off-rodeo said, okay, if you go into this goat mode, and they would challenge you too and say, hey, so this is what we're going to do. What do you think we should choose in this instance? Like if you want to do the goat mode. So that's what I really liked about Bronco off-rodeo as well, was that it wasn't just, here's a bunch of information and just go. It's true. It's true.
Yep.
It's true story.
Every bad movie I've seen, every Jurassic Park movie, there's rain and somebody's gonna die.
Omnipotent Alon says Dave won't promote them until they sponsor the channel. No, they're not going to sponsor the channel.
I'm not. Guys, if I bring something to the table, it's usually because I've had firsthand experience with it. I feel comfortable. I'm not one of these people that are just wanting to run and partner up with a company because they want to pay me money to say good things about their company. I'm not running to some company because I want to be their marketing director or anything like that. When like the diabolical security enclosure we put in there, the slipstream, they sent me to it. I said, hey, I'm going to do an honest review on this product. They knew what they had and they were willing to send us one. We tried it out and I've fallen in love with that thing. I think it's great. You have your top down. It does exactly what it says. Now, does the Tuffy built Ford Performance rack that they have do all these things? Maybe. And maybe we'll try one out one day. But I think overall, if I were to suggest to our audience anything to buy, I'm very comfortable sending them to Alan and saying he's a good man, because I've talked to him over the weekend, spent a couple hours talking to him. We've talked in other times, but I feel comfortable. I not that I have much of a reputation, but I do feel like if I want to put my name behind something, it's an honest, it's good. Now, have we ever been effed over before because a company we thought was pretty good and they started treating their customers bad? You're damn right. There's one in Colorado that will do that. I won't use their parts again. I like the people, but they just haven't got to the customer service thing. And once again, with this tie rod, I'm hoping that guy's not in customer service. Engineers are completely different monkey, man. I deal with them every day. They are brilliant people and their minds doesn't always work in common sense and how to approach things. So
be careful. You've got some engineers in the chat tonight.
I know. I think most engineers I deal with would tell you they're a little different. So, and I feel like I don't want to keep beating up RPG on this, because once again, I'm sure I don't want RPG Nation start jumping in on these things like you're just beating up because you're blah blah blah. Usually it's you're jealous. I'm not jealous of a part that broke, but just call it like I see it. We had a super chat.
Hold on just a second. Max said, that makes sense. I'm from SoCal, the hub of companies like RPG, SVC, Camberg. So I have emotional ties to these companies. Totally get it.
Yeah. I'm not.
It was just a bad, perfect storm of a tornado of what happened when the guy showed that his toes did this and they shouldn't be doing this. And then he shows the product. And it's not just that is the problem. It was the fact that the engineer responded with, oh no, we know it's broken. It's not there anymore.
Did it go away?
You can go forward. Should be there.
Max, this is because I don't want people thinking that we're just, I want to show this. This was on Bronco 6X. So obviously broken tie rod. We've all seen this 100 times now. No big deal. There is how much thread was actually in. That's how much bolt they put through into the other side of the tie rod. You can see where it was barely in that tie rod. And it just, once again, the little pin here works perfectly for this example. They had a situation like this where it was allowing it to do this, and over time it just, those threads worn out and it came apart. Normal, you do this and it can't do that. And
You're gonna use that one a lot, aren't you?
No, but it's a good representation of what happened. And for the guy to just kind of be like, well, the answer that he gave was kind of silly of well, it's just kind of what happened. We kind of mimicked what Ford does. Well, then why did I buy your product? Can't really find the comment. There it is, right there.
So the question, I know.
Okay.
The question is, what caused this? I have your full tie rods. Hopefully this was just a fluke in making them. This is what he says. We found some of the threads in the stock tie rod setup were really short, so we had to shorten the threads on our bolt going back into the rack. We'd prefer to have 2 times the bolt diameter for thread engagement. We want the thread engagement to be as long as possible. So that's the response that caused the heatedness of it, because there's ownership that we messed up, but we messed up because of this, and there's no like ownership as to
the answer doesn't
this was wrong.
The answer doesn't make sense of, well, we found that on the factory tie rods that they use this amount of thread, which I call BS on. They use more than that. There's no way Ford is using that tiny ass amount of thread, and Ford's a multi-trillion-dollar company. They're not putting their company name on the line because of tiny little thread like that.
And Brian Nelson, thank you so much for that super chat, sir.
Sorry, guys. I don't mean to be heated as much about this. Once again, I don't want people thinking I'm just beating up on them. I just think it was that kind of weak. Well, this is basically what Ford did, so we just copied it. I thought you were an engineering off-road company that redesigned. You fixed this stuff, not went, okay, cool. And he even guy at the very end there, we would prefer to have at least 2 times the bolt and thread engagement. Well, you would prefer to. Well, that sounds like you didn't even make the parts. What that sounds like to me, it sounds like you're sourcing these from somewhere, which I don't think they are. But that answer almost sounds like, well, we sourced this from somebody and that's all they have.
Yeah, like Mobile said, they allow the existing inadequate product to constrain their design.
Yes.
Which is like if you talk to scientists and things, you don't make the science fit your hypothesis. You have the science tell you whether your hypothesis is right or not. So you're really like...
Do we always trust the science?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm Nipitin Alon says, my number one issue is everyone is choosing to do orange as their secondary color. When is orange everyone's favorite color?
The only oranges on there is from the Badlands.
But it's still his favorite color.
I don't know that it's my favorite color. I'm attracted to that color a lot.
It is.
I can't help the Bengals color is orange. I didn't choose that. And all my
Bengals... look at that hat from when it was Nissan Nation Productions.
Let's move on.
Let's
move on.
Yeah.
Once again, I'm sure. Don't think I'm beating him up. I'm heated because of
the safety
issue.
Terrence says, not mine.
Not mine what?
Not the secondary.
Oh. Well, not now. Oh, see, Matt is a good man. He said orange is his favorite color, and he has a cyber orange. I think it's a Badlands.
And Matt said that he enjoyed the off-roadeo because he didn't really know a ton about off-roadeo.
Yeah,
and Allie said do it too.
And Allie, we need to get you on the show. Got those tough questions we want to ask you. Like, is orange your favorite color?
Jason says orange is my favorite, Dave. Orange Nation.
It's a sweet show. Like the drink? It's getting late.
Bye, Bird Dog. Thanks for joining.
Yes, thank you, everybody, for joining.
Omnipotent Lance says, forgot only sponsors by 67 Designs. We're not sponsored by 67.
And
Now it's just poking at
and I'll
us.
be honest, like other than like me buying 2 of their products, one for the Jeep, one for the Bronco, like I won't say that they've been the best at customer service or anything. Like they're damn near nightmare to get a hold of if you do have a question. So
Jason says drove 200 miles through tropical storm weather in Houston to South Texas. 22 OBX in wet and slippery goat mode. Smooth riding. What storm?
nice.
That's awesome.
All-wheel drive, baby.
We didn't use the.
Didn't need to.
No. Jonathan says, how many 2021 Broncos were there approximately?
35,000, something like that. 21s.
Michael Rivas says, who sings OPP?
Yeah,
you know me. I know.
Naughty by nature. All right, y'all can't get me any more whiskey. Do you really love your cup holders?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's a good shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Just check.
I do love my cup holders.
She does.
I'm a big fan.
Terrence Mooney says I should have got the antimatter blue. Hopefully the rumors of that color coming back are true.
Yeah.
God, I was doing the video of walking around Bronco Nation, and they had a black and an antimatter blue, and I was looking through the camera, and of course it's sunny and it's hard to look through the camera. And I got my polarized glasses on, which did not help at all. And I was like, I think I had to retake it because I think I called it black initially, and then I was like, oh, that's antimatter blue.
I think you said something about, I have my polarized glasses on.
But man, what a great color on that Bronco.
And we've said it many times. Had we seen antimatter blue on an entire Bronco instead of just the gas can before we put our order in, we may have gone with antimatter blue.
I don't regret Rapid Red by any means.
I don't regret it either. I love Rapid Red. I actually had somebody tell us, it was like, man, that's a good looking wrap on there.
I know.
Recently. Online. Yeah, Nikki says team antimatter blue.
That's right. Nikki was talking about that color.
Matt Porter says just rolled over 25,000 on my Badlands, all premium fuel. Ouch. That is ouch.
You know what that says, Matt? You're a baller. The tattoo world is paying well, is what that says.
Max said, anybody out there get MSRP on their Bronco Raptor?
That's a good question. I want to say Dwayne with Driven Wild, he hasn't picked his up yet. It's not built yet, but his dealer is giving him at MSRP.
Yeah.
I've seen a few actually do that. I don't know if Ford privately said, hey, if you try to get these at MSRP, like there's something new coming down the pipeline that we're going to, if you treat people right, you get treated right.
Clay Ben Treese Jr. says the Ford Bronco Raptor needs a supercharged 5.8 V8.
I know Dwayne's got some news about maybe a V8 addition to a Bronco.
You're not supposed to say anything about it.
It's called a lead-in, Kelly. So Wednesday night, go bug Dwayne over at Driven Wild Outdoors because he may have some teasers about something like
that. Same kind of conversation.
What's that?
Just the only problem with the Ford Bronco that I have is not offered in V8 like the old Ford Bronco was before they discontinued it in 96.
Guys, it's got my V6 has more horsepower than what they had in 96 in that V8 though. I seriously, like I got into it on the interstate. I was doing 80 and needed to get into it more. It just goes. Now
I told you.
Is it a Lamborghini? No. But I mean, every year vehicles are getting more and more horsepower. Your Xterra that we traveled in a lot had 261. My first gen Xterra had 161. Like it was night and day difference from the next one. And this is night and day difference from the Xterra. I
was actually talking to a guy while you were doing the tour or doing the walk around in the Bronco corral of how because he had a Gen 1 Bronco that he had toured all over the country.
Awesome.
Like he did the work thing for a while and he was like, you know what? Meh, I'm out of it. Like he's almost 70. And he was like, so when he was younger, he lived out of his Bronco. He went all across the country. He went up the West Coast, did everything. And he's like, I kick myself for selling it. He's like, but as soon as the new one as soon as it announced they were coming out with a new one, he's like, I needed it. He said, but
is that the older gentleman you were talking
about? The guy I was talking to with the Area 51 Bronco.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, it's just, He said, but the horsepower is completely different in this one than it was in my Gen 1.
Oh yeah.
I said, yeah, I mean, I bet you wished you would have kept your Gen 1. I said, especially because you can't touch them now. He's like, yeah, he wished he would have kept it, but life happened and had to sell it. But
I get though. I understand people like, man, I want to hear the rumblies of a V8 in these things, and maybe they do an R version down the road. Who knows? I mean, who's to say they won't? I mean, who would have thought they would have went from a V8 to the twin turbo V6 in the Raptor, and then do an R version? I mean, I would have never thought they would have went. Okay, they heard people bitching and was like, we got to do something. Now, is it going to be priced where people can buy it? No. But at the same point, Ford can go, guess what? You whined. We did it. You didn't like the price tag, so we had to kill it.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man. I still think we're living in good times for I think we're on the downside of the golden age of horsepower, gas-powered horsepower. But I like the 2.7, man. I've not gotten in that thing and been like, you know what? It needs more power.
Mm-mm.
Now I haven't drove this.
I'll always like more power.
Yeah. I haven't drove the 4-cylinder, but I can't imagine that it's like, man, this thing's a dog.
Didn't we drive the 4-cylinder in the little Bronco Sport, which I know we're comparing apples to oranges?
That was a 3-cylinder.
Oh, it wasn't a 4?
I believe it was there. I want to say it's a 3-cylinder.
Oh.
I don't know. I haven't paid attention to sport in a long time. I'm not crapping on sport because
you're gonna cover yourself every time.
I had somebody reach out to me and was, Dave, you're shitting on sports. Stop doing it. And I was like, I didn't know I was.
Bronco Dude says, whenever I kick my Outer Banks 4-cylinder into sport mode in Florida, I think every time that it should not be going that fast. They can go so fast.
Yeah, no, this one here didn't realize how fast she was. When we first got it, she was going down the highway, didn't realize how fast.
It was after the break-in period.
Okay.
It was after the break-in period. I was going to lunch with you, and I had to get up to get over to my exit, and all of a sudden it was like,
because there is a slight turbo lag to it. You hit it, and there's that split second of it takes it that, and then you feel like,
and it's much louder now that he's put an AWE exhaust on there. It didn't sound before.
It sounds so cool. All right, last call for questions or comments, everybody.
Max said, here in LA, California, my local dealer, $40K markup for Raptor. That's what I'm hearing.
That's I unfortunately, I think it's where you live. Probably they're like, well, there'll be some person out here with a little bit of scratch.
Bronco 78 said oats.
Nothing new on it, man. Nothing new.
Positivity Win says, Rebecca looks awesome. Love the wrap. Thank you.
Oats, I mean, I don't know. I think we're gonna see a hybrid before we see any other cool things. 90 miles feels like 50. It does.
It's true story.
They're very smooth.
True story. That's why when I looked down and saw I was going like 92, I was like, oh,
I was 88 yesterday at one point and it didn't feel like some of the stiffer vehicles at 88. You might feel it just in the wind a little bit. It just kind of this.
I was proud of you yesterday. Planned. You were ready to get home because you don't like to drive that fast.
I played that fuel economy game in my head that I want to get good fuel economy. And so therefore, even though I was still at 70, I think I kicked cruise at about 77.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of where I like to be. It's not because I don't want to go faster. It's just these head games you play with yourself to make the trip more fun of like, oh man, if I can get the mileage like really good, it would be awesome.
Will you put an aftermarket snorkel on your Bronco when they become available for the next time the Ohio River floods? No.
I've not seen. I know IAG is working on a snorkel. I've not seen anybody's snorkel that I've seen some shitty Chinese made something that the other day all look horrible. And the one Chinese one that looked so bad that they were trying to do the pillar and they were trying to do the outside air box that goes in. So you'd have to cut into it. And it just did not look good, man.
Terrence Mooney says, are they still sending builds out? I think this week is the last week.
I think so.
Thursday, I think, is the last week. Or maybe next week.
And they were Thursdays or when they were sending emails out, if I remember right. So Terrence, here's the only thing I can say for you, because I know, buddy, you've been waiting a long time. It kills me you've had to wait this long. You might get a new color out there that I'm not saying you will, but what if you're like, shit, I'm to a 23, and then the 23 order banks open up in a couple weeks, and you're like, that new color makes this thing so much cooler. Brake recommendations. I usually get the gold of whatever, AutoZone or whoever your deal with sell. I will say this. I was told this by a gentleman that owns a Nissan dealership, and he said that Nissan, if you buy OEM brakes, stuff like that, you're going to pay a little bit more. But he said, think about it. Most brakes now, you're going to get almost 100,000 miles, it seems like, out of these brake pads. So they build their stuff to a higher tolerance, maybe standard. So is it worth the $39 or is it worth the $90?
If you have to change it 3 times between them. Cincy Cycle says Forescan Sport add to the Badlands was a game changer. Glad I switched from the Wild Track to the Badlands.
So I have the Forescan app. Forescan. I have the plug-in. I need to do that because I want to do away with the goofy honking when you leave the key in your pocket. That's so annoying. There's not many things. There's that's annoying to me. The sound system's horrible. And I was told that you can activate the B&O sound system or a better sounding sound system with Forescan. Luke was telling us about that. So that's intrigued me.
And we need it.
And yeah, the sound system's not even subpar.
Even with the replacement speakers. It's much better with the replacement speakers, but it's nowhere near what it should be.
But they there's a couple things like that, and the on off. I want that gone. I know Tim was talking to us about somebody makes a little plug-in that tricks that thing or whatever, but he said it was like $100, and I want to say I paid $20 for the plug-in, and I forget what the actual pay for the Forescan is.
If it's the same plug-in, it just goes in the
OB2.
Oh, then that's different.
No, his does something else, but I don't remember how much actually purchasing the software is for Forescan. I think it's under $50, so still seems a little cheaper to me.
Terrence still wants white.
Okay. Terrence, did you watch? I think it was in today's video or yesterday's video we dropped of a white 4-door that it was a base. They'd put big. I want to say it was a base squatch, but the beauty rings they did it orange, and I know the whole orange thing, but it was even Sydney liked it. It was kind of cool that it was just they debadged it on the sides, and just that orange kind of beauty rings with that was like it was kind of popped. I was like, damn, that actually looks pretty
kind of
good.
Popped.
No, it really popped. It was a double pop. It was a
Matt Porter says, do it. Sport is awesome. The speaker's Forescan thing doesn't do much, but no double honk is so much better.
See, Matt, my buddy over at Lifestyle said he noticed a drastic improvement. Matt, have you changed out your speakers? I don't know if that's... don't cheat your your start stop with Forescan.
Terrence said he saw it.
Yeah, Terrence, what did you think of that? I thought that looked really good. Oh,
Overlighted for FUD said, don't cheat your start stop with Forescan.
Oh, you have that. Well, Matt, I want to say that the speakers are the exactly same with the B&O sound system. I want to say that it was on Bronco 6G. Somebody pulled the speaker out and it's the same model number as.
So it's just a program.
So it's a programming thing.
That's shady.
Yeah.
My work laptop has B&O sound system.
Well, sometimes it is a tuning, but the tuning's all done through the computer of the.
I noticed that the other day.
Yeah. Fancy.
I know, fancy. And the stupid Ford JBL soundbar. So you can't see out your back window.
Yeah, sorry, bro. Well, we're gonna have to see. Everybody says the sport mode that we got to activate that, Kelly.
Are we sure it's not going to interfere with the?
They don't ever get into that program.
I'm just asking because that was the concern early on.
Yeah. There are more speakers. Yeah, there definitely are more speakers with the B&O. But Tim with Overlanding for Fun, I want to say they pulled the fronts out and it was the exact speakers, paper speakers or whatever they were that Oh, Terrence said I liked it, but your daughter two-door.
She wants a two-door now. We actually
I
talked to
like
her.
that she really thought like because that I didn't prepare her on like talking about that.
And
We were just
usually she's really
walking.
quiet when you ask her.
And I was like, hey, which one would you want? And I said 2-door, 4-door. And she's like, well, I could basically have less friends in my car. And I was like, what a responsible answer for a kid. But she didn't want monster truck version. She wanted the Sasquatch package.
She's also the kid that comes and tells on herself. So
that is true.
So at least it's smart that she doesn't have to worry about how many people she can get in the car.
That is very, very true. Let's see. That is over 2 hours, guys and gals. I want to say thank you for everybody joining us. All the super
We're already in
chats.
12-inch screen, MB.
Yes. Sadly, we should have done that, but you live and learn. I wouldn't want the high package though because I didn't want the front sensors. That was a concern of mine. I didn't want the front.
I want the 360 camera though.
That would have been cool.
To wheel with would be really cool.
I like Mobile says keeping the clutch in keeps the. Yeah, well, I'm an automatic buddy. All right, so whether it be 2-wheel drive,
4-wheel drive,
does it really matter what you drive, Kelly?
Because it's Broncos tonight on Monday.
That's right. This is Bronco Talk Live, and we've been
no happy hour tomorrow.
We've been we have a softball game, and then Wednesday I have to lift the Gladiator,
and then Thursday we have a softball game, and then Friday we're going to Smoky Mountain.
Yep. So if you're in the Gatlinburg area, let us know and come stop by, and we'll say hi to you. So that's a show, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We will be back next Monday, and peace.
Bye, guys.